A very warm welcome to Influencers Inc., where we bring you the biggest faces in the whole world of influencers that are creating waves. And I have with me someone very special, someone who's created a niche for himself. I have with me Sanjot Keer. Thank you very much for joining us today on Influencers Inc. I want to talk to you about the whole food space, considering that you have more than a million subscribers on Instagram. Your YouTube channel is doing very well. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you really found your calling with food.
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. And it's been a great journey as a content creator. I always wanted to be a chef as a kid, and I pursued my hotel management. I did my graduation in hospitality, and after that, I was just thinking what to do, and I got a really great opportunity to work as a food producer on the show MasterChef India for the season 4, and that is where I was introduced with the food and media and digitalization of food in um a sense. And after that, while creating content for your food lab, um, I just saw that lack of short form content, faster paced content in the Indian food scene. And that is how I came up with this idea of doing 1 minute short form videos back in 2016. And that idea really resonated with the audiences, and your food lab was an instant success.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the kind of evolution that we've seen in the food space. We've seen so many content creators, specifically on Instagram, looking at these short 30-second, 1 minute videos on food. So, how would one really distinguish themselves from the crowd? Because a pav bhaji recipe is a pav bhaji recipe, right? Like, what is new and what is different? So, how would you distinguish yourself from the rest?
So I'll take this question in two parts. The first part is, how do you first distinguish yourself in terms of the format of content? So here we are talking about two things. One is the food, and one is the format of the content or the platform you're choosing to build your content on. Now you've got a few options where on Instagram you've got reels, you've got posts, you've got IGTV. On YouTube you've got long form, and now with YouTube Shorts you've got the short form content where you have a 1 minute timeline. And then there is Facebook Watch as well. So there are different platforms you can choose from, and depending on what kind of personality you have, what kind of food you want to cook and showcase on your channel, you can choose a platform. You can that is your own choice. How do you distinguish yourselves in terms of your second part of your question, where a pav bhaji remains a pav bhaji recipe, right? But that question comes to me a lot, that how do you shine in so many people who are doing content? So I always tell this, that food has its own personality. So even if I am sharing my pav bhaji recipe with you, when I cook it and when you cook it, those pav bhajis would be different. So that is how food has its own personality. If a chef A or chef B is doing pav bhaji, it would be different, and that is what people want to see. When people watch Chef Sanjot Keer or your food lab, they want to see my kind of personality coming into my food, and that is what they like about me. And then there would be some other person who likes to watch someone else. So there's a huge audience, and you should never be scared to try out, because I'm sure there would be an audience for everybody's style and personality.
What do you think are the top two things that really worked for you when it came to creating this kind of content? Especially now, you see that there are so many different kinds of foods available in the market. You have fusion food and different kinds of things. So, do you think it's the genre that worked for you, or do you think it was really your personality that worked for you?
So when I started back in 2016, my videos did not have me. It was just the food. And that at that time, the whole idea about the short form content where, fast paced Indian food content was not available. That really worked well. And second, the kind of recipes I used to do back then. So all of my recipes were really unique. I used to do recipes which were not available on the internet. Um, I never did classic traditional recipes in my first year. But then slowly, when people started to recognize your food lab and me as a chef, they started requesting for recipes which were very classic, like pav bhaji, like butter chicken, like dal makhni. And for the initial bit, I used to always say that there are so many recipes available on the internet. Why should I do the same recipe? So I had the same question, the second question you asked me. But then the day I, started doing these recipes, people loved them because they were like, we want to see how this recipe would be cooked on Your Food Lab. So that is how Your Food Lab content has had an evolution since 2016. Started from long form. The last video I've done on YouTube is for 20 minutes. So I've come a long way. But now it's very platform specific. If you want to go for YouTube, long form works really well. If you want to go for Instagram, Reels is doing really well. So you need to choose, or you can do both. And you cannot just repurpose content from here to there. That won't work. So that is a very important point. Even if you're doing long form for YouTube and you want to be relevant on Instagram, you will have to start doing reels. You'll have to choose recipes which can be showcased in 1 minute. So that is a huge difference between the two platforms.
Right. I also want to talk to you a little bit about what the way forward is for Your Food Lab. While you have done, you've created a brand and a niche for yourself, specifically in the content creation space. What more can we expect going forward?
So from Your Food Lab, you can expect a lot of different new series-based content IPs coming up. We're working on a few series where it would be episodic content. There would be much more than food, but everything would be revolving around food. So that is something what we're working on. Second is, I've been talking about this, that I want to, explore the virtual education space where we would be teaching, and it would be a learning format, what people could follow. And we would be teaching cooking. That would be the first part, but then how to create content, because we are experts in this field where we create digital food content in a very different way today in the Indian food market scene. And also how to build a community on the internet, because since now Your Food Lab is almost followed by more than 10 million people across the three platforms, and we have done a couple of few billion views. So we want to teach that to a lot of young people, because I don't see where you can go and actually learn formally that, how can I become a content creator? So this is something new which is being, pursued by a lot of young people. And I think we could be good mentors to them.
Sanjit, very honestly, tell me, how important are views and followers to you? As a content creator, I think a lot of people chase followers, chase subscribers, chase views. So, what is your perspective on this?
I would say that viewership or loyalty is more important than the number. But definitely the number plays a very important role in terms of how can you monetize your content. That is very important, because when a brand comes to you, they see your numbers. So that is where numbers are important. But I feel that you should not just keep chasing numbers, because just by chasing numbers, you're not going to have those numbers what you want. You'll have to work for it. So I'll rather say that, put in the effort, do a lot of good content, build a niche for yourself where you can say that I'm a little secured where nobody else can enter this niche. And also do your content in a very, very sustained manner. You have to be very consistent, and that is how you will keep growing. Also platforms are changing so quickly. You will see Instagram coming up with IGTV suddenly shifting to Reels, so you will be confused what to do. But that is how it is going to be. The platforms are going to change every single day, and you as a content creator need to keep in your mind that you are just renting out this space for your content. You are not the platform. So you need to change according to the platform. You need to think, how should I evolve? And then you can keep growing.
That's interesting. Agility is everything in this
Yeah.
space because of the constantly evolving platforms. On that note, I'm going to do a quick rapid fire with you
Okay.
and see how good you get and how quick you get with your answers. So, are you ready?
Done deal.
Okay. So, what's your favorite Indian dish?
Pav bhaji.
Okay. What, according to you, is the one special ingredient that brings out the flavor in any dish?
Salt.
Okay. If you could travel to any place in the world, where would you go? And more importantly, what would you eat?
I am looking forward to do a tour across India. So nicks and corners, villages, homes, Indian homes. I want to try food from different parts of the country.
Okay, what according to you is the most underrated vegetable?
Underrated vegetable. I think Karela is the most underrated vegetable. What 90% of the Indians hate, but I love that ingredient.
Okay, what is the one thing that you don't like to eat?
I don't like to eat tinde.
What is your inspiration, or who is your inspiration rather, in the cooking space? And it could be more than one person.
I take inspiration from a lot of street food vendors who cook on the roads, on the streets, and I just love how India has such a diverse street food culture, and I take inspiration. That is how I started cooking as a young kid, watching a pav bhaji vendor cook. So yes, I take a lot of inspiration from them. I feel they're cooking heroes.
Okay, what do you think red wine goes best with? What kind of food?
Red. Okay, what kind of food you added to the question? Otherwise, I was going to say red wine goes well with a very good partner if you're having it with her. But
That's why I added food.
yeah, I think I love to have my wine whenever I'm having some good Italian food. So yeah,
Okay, if you could make one crazy combination with two of the most absurd food items, what would that combination be?
too absurd. Yeah, so as a kid, I've always been having this chili chicken, which is an Chinese Indo-Chinese dish with butter naan. That combination surprisingly I used to love it. I used to even have it with my ghar ki chapati. And then later on, after a few years, now you get these chili chicken rolls everywhere, so it's the same thing. But then at back then, people used to tell me, who eats roti with Chinese food?
Okay, talking about childhood, what did your lunchbox look like in school?
My lunchbox was all kinds of good Punjabi food with a lot of mixture from Mumbai kind of food, because I've been born brought up in Mumbai. So you will see pav bhaji, sometimes idli sambar, sometimes the pizza, and sometimes rajma chawal. So it was all of it.
Okay, what is your dessert preference? Ice cream or gulab jamun?
I don't have a sweet tooth, but I love ice cream. So desserts are always ice cream for me.
Okay, if you were to describe yourself as a vegetable, what would you be?
Vegetable, and that's a difficult one. Uh, but yeah, I can say that my favorite vegetable is Karela. And a lot of people will find a difficult time understanding me. But when you understand me, you will start liking me. So I think Karela can be one.
Okay. Okay. And a final question. Put a complete meal on a plate, starting with appetizers to desserts. So, what would be your ideal meal? It could be across cuisines.
Across cuisine, so I'll start off with a nice chicken crispy and a manchow soup, like proper Indo-Chinese. And then
Okay.
for the main course, I like to have. I'm going very desi this time. I like to have a nice butter chicken, which I like with a crispy garlic butter naan. And for dessert, any kind of an ice cream.
Thank you very much for joining us, Sanjot. It was a really yummy conversation, and I can't wait to go and get some interesting food myself. So, thank you so much for being a part of this show, and it's been a real pleasure speaking with you.